Hey, internet friends, cousins, and scoundrels. Welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. Pull up a chair, honey, and let's have a chat. And since the algorithm really likes it when you interact with the content, go ahead and give it a like and subscribe since you're here. Now I ain't gonna hold you. Let's get right into this.
Y'all, I am back from my nice little social media break, and I see that tons of shit has hit the fan in my hiatus. I caught up on the past 2 episodes of LMH, and what I can say about this cast is that they are a pack of liars, and not good ones either. In this latest episode, Marceau and Tisha admit that Black was, in fact, closed. You know, like how everyone was reporting that, a few months ago. I mean, what the fuck? They both got on their pages to say that, that was a lie. Black wasn't closed, and even had Wanda out here windmilling and lying about the status of the lounge. But here they are in this episode admitting what we already knew. Black was definitely shut down. Now, there are still some questionable reasons for the business closure. Something about toilet flushing, taxes, or whatever the hell Marceau said. Anyway, the bottom line is that lies were being told. And for me, it's the blatant lies, right? Why not just be honest? Or why not say nothing at all, especially if you aren't going to tell the truth? I mean, it wasn't like this scene wasn't going to be aired. I mean, this is so fucking weird. Anywho, the lies don't stop there, right? It seems as though Trish is also less than truthful as well. And this doesn't really make for really good, reality TV, in my opinion. It's a turnoff. Anyway, Stormy confronts Trish about being at Martell's house. And Trish appears to be shocked by this accusation and somewhat confused, right? Stormy confirms that Martell told her that she had definitely been to his house. Now, Trish has an option here. She can go ahead and confess and say what it is, but she chooses to lie, right? This is her choice. She chooses to lie, and she doubles down and she says, why would he say that? That never happened. What would possess him to say that? And honestly, that's a stance that anyone would take if, they were confronted with a lie, right? About themselves. They would say, why would that person say that? That's not true. But then Trish says something else. She adds, if I did, it wouldn't matter because we are both grown. And if I slept with him, it just would have been what it was. And I would admit it. So now Destiny chimes in and says, do you not want to tell us about it because, it was bad? And Trish kind of laughs it off and is like, nah, I would admit it, but it didn't happen. Now, after this meeting with the ladies, Trish, I guess, decides that maybe it's time for her to come clean with Ken about being at Martell's house because he also doesn't know this information, right? So over dinner, she tells him about the meeting with the ladies and she comes clean about actually, spending time at Martell's house. Now, Ken is giving me super simp vibes. I'm sorry, he just is. And I hate using the term simp, but it applies here. So we're going to use it. In my opinion, Ken is a dummy, okay? Ken doesn't read the room well, and Ken is being played. But before you feel an ounce of sympathy, and that's a pun intended, I want you to know that he's a willing participant, right? He knows very well that Trish is still a married woman. And even with that fact firmly in place, he's clocked in to play stepdaddy to her kids and provide for her household. Now, I can see if Trish had been taking steps to, divorce her husband. And she had some pitfalls and some hiccups along the way, some things that they still were trying to iron out in the divorce decree. But no, she never, ever even filed for divorce. She's been stringing this poor fool along for 5 years. Listen, there is no rush for Trish to divorce her husband. Not none. And it seems like she may have lied to Ken and told him that her husband refused to sign the papers because that's what he always says when he's asked about their situationship. Ken always says that her husband refuses to sign the papers. What papers? There are no papers. She never filed for divorce. Sir, you are not it. Trish doesn't want you. She is just fostering you until you find your forever home. I think that Trish is perfectly content with the way things are. And Ken is a coleslaw. He's just the male version. He's sitting there in the middle of this mess, fully invested. And Trish could almost care less. She doesn't come across as someone who is in love with this man. And if the truth be told, she doesn't act like she even really likes him. So Trish tells Ken that the ladies confront her about being at Martell's house. And she said that she was glad that that came out because she knew it was going to come out anyway. Really? Then why lie? I mean, you sat there and lied to the ladies about even being there. It wasn't like you were truthful about that with them. So they have walked away from the situation believing that you being at Martell's house is a lie. Anyway, this is not making any sense. And Ken is also learning this information for the first time. And instead of him really pressing her, for more information, more of this story, asking her, why is this a secret? He automatically makes concessions and excuses for her by saying that, he knows that she's a private person, blah, blah, blah. Listen, I ain't gonna hold you. There is a difference with, being private and just straight up lying and omitting the truth. And that is what Trish is doing. Trish is a liar. She looks foolish getting on this show with all of this bullshit and entanglements while having lockjaw. Girl, own it. Beat your chest. Okay? You have a husband, a side dude, and another dude that you deal with from time to time. It is what it is. Just own that. It's so weird to see this woman sit here with all of these entanglements and continue to lie. It's insane. Now, Ken is still working hard trying to provide cover for Trish. He says that Martell would, have been before his time, and everyone has a past. So he doesn't care about, what she did before him. He just wants to know so that nobody can hold that information over his head, namely Martell. He doesn't want Martell to say that he ran through his woman on Mad Day, and blindside him. And that makes sense. But Trish is just not going to own up to that. So when she explains how she came to meet up with Martell, she tells Ken, well, he asked me to work out with him at the gym near his house. But when I came over, we just read some books and played a few rounds of Uno, something like that. And yada, 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 we didn't make it to the gym. She just kind of leaves it like that. And Ken is okay with it. Because I honestly think that Ken really wants to believe Trish. He wants this woman as his wife. He wants her in his life, and he's willing to completely throw common sense and logic straight out the window for her. And listen, God bless him on his journey because Trish isn't where he is. She is still shopping around, in my opinion. Moving on. Now, it's not a secret that the ladies in this group of women have selective outrage when it comes to the topic of infidelity, side folks, and the like. So it isn't surprising to anyone that Kimmy and Tisha would see Sunny as a home-wrecking side hoe, and who can blame them, right? All of the ingredients are there to make a hoe cake, so yeah. But they refuse to apply the same logic to coleslaw, and quite frankly to Ken too. It's the same thing, right? Only worse because there was a marriage and children involved. You would think these ladies would be giving Ken the BI-isness because he too is dead center in the middle of a decade-plus long marriage where children are involved. Listen, this clown-ass dude is even trolling the husband on social media, just like coleslaw. But where the fuck is the outrage? Where is it? Then you have Sunny and Destiny's situation, which is shady. Whether you like Sunny or not, the shit is foul. She went after this woman's ex. Like, of all the men in the world, this is the man Sunny decided to pursue a relationship with. It's not ideal, and I personally don't agree with it, but they are married. He married her. So there's nothing left for Destiny to do at this point but build a bridge and get over it. He made it official. Now, will it stand the test of time? Will this work out in Sunny's favor in the end? I mean, shit, who knows? But they are married. And that's the end of the story. The case is closed. And no matter what we all think about it, Sonny didn't tear down an institution. There was not a marriage and there are no kids involved. So Destiny is really free to move about the cabin. She doesn't have to battle in court over assets or child custody. She can just chuck the deuces and keep it pushing. But Destiny doesn't want to do that. She wants to wallow in it. She wants sympathy and attention from this. And to be honest, she's getting it, at least from Tisha and Kimmy. And Mel put it perfectly when she said that they finally can attach a face by proxy to what their husbands have been rumored to be doing. And in my opinion, Tisha is more triggered than Kimmy, because if we're going to keep it a buck, Kimmy is Sonny, which is why Kimmy is riding the fence when it comes to Sonny. Kimmy can relate. That's how she got Maurice, according to his ex-wife, Kiowa. So everybody is at Kimmy's tasting for their restaurant, and during the brunch, the topic of Destiny came up. Trish made it known that Destiny was in good spirits surrounding her ex's marriage to Sonny, but she still had some choice words for some people. And then Tisha says, would one of those people be Kimmy? But we already know she really wanted to say Mel. Anyway, Kimmy goes on to explain how Sonny was there for her during her breast cancer diagnosis. Right? So Kimmy kind of rides the fence when it comes to Sonny. Ain't gonna hold you. I don't think Kimmy would have a problem with Sonny if it wasn't for Tisha. In my opinion, it's her loyalty to the Scott brand that is making her ride the fence. I'm gonna say it again. Kimmy is Sonny. Shit, Kimmy backdoored the fuck out of Kiowa, showing up to that woman's passion party under the guise of purchasing some adult toys, when the truth was, she wanted an up-close look at her competition. She wanted to see what she was up against. And not only did she buy some toys from Kiowa, she probably used them on that woman's husband too, allegedly and in my opinion. So Chris chimes in the conversation and he tries to explain that when he spoke to Sonny, she told him that Destiny was confused about what their relationship status was, and that Destiny made them out to be more than what it was, and truthfully, they weren't friends. Now, Tisha gets triggered and tries to refute that by saying that they were friends because they hung out outside of filming. And for me, this is where it gets muddy. But we're not going to rehash that because Sonny believes one thing about her relationship with Destiny, and Destiny has her own understanding about their relationship, right? And neither one of them is going to move off their square, so we are just going to move on. Now, Mel isn't really contributing to this conversation. One, because she's outnumbered. And two, because she's trying to keep the peace and stay out of bullshit. Mel is really picking her battles. And listen, I'm here for it. Go back and forth with these goofy bitches for what? Nah, I'm good. No. Especially with them taking a solid stance on Sonny breaking girl code. But none of them could understand how Mel felt when Coleslaw inserted herself into her marriage. These bitches are pathetic. And they hate the bloggers for calling this stuff out while steady proving everybody right. But anyway, once the meal was completed, Mel asked everyone to meet her in the next room for a surprise. And that's when they learned that she has invited all of the ladies on a tropical vacation. Now Marceau yells out, "I'm a bitch." And yes, we all know, but you're still not invited. This is ladies only. Kimmy rips her package open first and yells out the location. They're going to St. Thomas. She is hella excited. It's a girls only trip, which means at least for her, she can have some peace from Maurice's constant sexual advances. So I know she is definitely looking forward to that. Now, while everyone is celebrating, laughing, and having a good time, Tisha yells, "Are we allowed to bring a +1?" Mel tells her sure, but she can't guarantee her that that person will have a room. So as long as she doesn't mind sharing a bed, knock yourself out. Now Tisha says, "Oh no, I need my own bedroom." Really? Because you just invited somebody. Anywho, Mel says, well, you got to make that decision. How are you asking to bring someone on an all expenses paid trip and think the hostess is supposed to provide your additional guest with sleeping arrangements? Girl, sit down. If you want someone extra to come, you have to make concessions for that person. Either you bunk up or you let them know that they have to get their own, place to stay. Now, Sunny nor Destiny came to the tasting. So as of now, they don't know about the trip yet. But Mel did include Sunny on her list of invitees. Mel invited all of the ladies, minus Destiny. She didn't invite Destiny, so she didn't intend for her to go. She has Sunny on the trip. Why invite Destiny when Sunny is on this trip? They're not in a good place. And quite frankly, neither is Mel and Destiny. So there is no need for Destiny to be on this trip. Anyway, Tisha and Kimmy meet up with Destiny at Kimmy's house to talk shit and to fill her in on the latest, and basically to find out why she wasn't at the tasting. When asked, Destiny said that she was on a date, and after a brief pause, she also added that she was out of town. So either Kimmy didn't hear her say that she was out of town, or she just didn't buy that. And she says, so you didn't come to the tasting because of a date? You could have brought your date to the tasting. Why? If this is a new relationship and it isn't established, then why bring that person around your friend group? Make it make sense. And also, why wasn't Destiny's answer good enough? She was on a date. I didn't come because I was on a date. Why wasn't that good enough? Well, I have a theory. Anyway, Kimmy tells Destiny that Tisha says that you didn't come because you thought Sunny was going to be there. Okay, there it is, right? I mean, these bitches are instigators. That's why that answer wasn't good enough, right? They want to instigate some bullshit. So what if Destiny doesn't want to be where Sunny is? That is actually natural and expected given the circumstances. It's only weirdos that believe you should want to be around people who you feel have wronged you. Honestly, Destiny not wanting to come because Sunny is there would have been a natural reaction. But instead of telling Tisha and Kimmy that, Destiny is gaslit into doubling down and saying that I am not going to let anybody run me off from my friend group. And Kimmy is like, yeah, I didn't think so. Listen, they're just amping Destiny up. But to do what though? Crash out and look like a dummy? Because this is where this is heading. And not to be outdone, actually, Tisha adds, and girl, Sunny is trying to take your friends away, especially Kimmy. What? Are we in high school? More fuel being added to the fire. But Destiny isn't smart enough to peep game. These women are not her friends. They ain't been riding with Destiny. They just showed up on the scene. And not only that, they are selling her wolf tickets and feeding her ass rib sandwiches. And since Destiny is so desperate for female companionship, she doesn't even see when people are playing right in her face and using her as a battering ram and a mouthpiece. Girl, boo. Girl, boo. This ain't it. Anyway, Kimmy tells Destiny that Sunny asked her out on a double date. And of course, she frowns up because she's like, ew, why? And she says that she was confused when she asked because they were not friends. But she just, listened to her and, wanted to hear her out because, she did so much for her when she was diagnosed with cancer. So she owed it to her just to hear her out. Listen, peep the game, okay? Kimmy is making her cancer the crutch that allows her to be friends with Sunny. And I say, stop it. Cut it out. Kimmy, you want to be friends with Sunny. And you should just say that. Listen, the fact that Kimmy keeps using, how she was treated by Sunny during cancer diagnosis as a reason to speak civilly to Sunny or to hang out with her is the biggest cop-out ever, and it really needs to stop. Kimmy, you don't owe a lifetime of servitude because Sunny wished you well on your cancer journey, especially if you ain't really feeling that girl like that, because then it's fake, right? So cut it out. Just say you like Sunny and you're cool with her, and that's why you continue to talk to her and be around her. Listen, if Tisha and Destiny want to be mad, they're free to do that by themselves. Stop justifying the fact that you enjoy being around this woman due to her support for you during your cancer diagnosis. Stop it. And listen, if the truth be told, Kimmy isn't making all of these justifications on behalf of Destiny. Hell no, she doesn't give a fuck about what Destiny thinks. She's justifying it for Tisha's sake, right? Listen, that's the Scott brand. And Kimmy is not allowed to go against the brand. Tisha is the one who's triggered by Sunny. So Kimmy has to smooth it out and make sure Tisha feels comfortable with her interactions with Sunny. If Tisha was cool with Sunny, or hell, even indifferent about the situation, Kimmy and Tisha would both treat Destiny just like they did Mel when she was battling a side chick and a disrespectful husband that was tearing her marriage apart. They would care less, right? And they would hang out with that girl in the open, no problem. And I can say that with my full chest because we have seen Kimmy say on the show that she doesn't have a problem with that side chick. She didn't have a problem with coleslaw. What? I don't want to call her the side chick. What? It's not fair that she's unhappy. Girl, stop it. Kimmy don't have problems with side chicks because she was one, allegedly, and in my opinion. She knows all of the ins and outs of side chickery, right? And she's going to stand 10 toes down with it. The only reason why she is not fully 10 toes down with Sunny is because of Tisha. Tisha is triggered. Anywho, Tisha decides to invite Destiny on Mel's trip as her plus one. Remember now, this is Mel's trip. So this shit is foul. And this is how you know Tisha is using Destiny as a crash dummy. Tisha knows that Destiny has a problem with not only Sunny, but Mel as well. So Tisha wants to sneak Destiny on the trip so that she can go at Mel for her. Because honestly, why would Destiny really want to go on this trip? She doesn't like the host or Sunny, so why be there? And when Destiny found out that it was Mel's trip, she naturally was like, nah, I'm good. I wasn't invited. And honestly, that's the response she should have had. But that's when Kimmy hops in and says, well, we always resolve things on these trips. So yeah, you should go. Hear me out. These bitches want to see a fight. Okay. Now they don't want to be in one, but they are happy to facilitate and then watch it from the sidelines. Just a pack of trifling assholes. Tisha gets in her confessional trying to, justify why she wants Destiny on the trip, saying that, well, Mel said she's bringing some of her single friends on the trip and Destiny is single so she can go hang out with them, as if, right? Tisha, of all people, should understand the ramifications of what she's doing. This is Mel's trip. This is not your trip. If this was Tisha's trip, invite who you want. But this is Mel's trip. So to intentionally bring someone who she is at odds with is just nasty work. Especially since you were upset when Kiki was invited on the group trip without your knowledge. Now you see the difference between Destiny coming and Kiki coming to the trip is that Kiki went to the hostess and asked the hostess if she could be included on the trip, right? Nell said yes. As the hostess, it was up to her, right? Tisha is being sneaky about it. She's trying to ambush Mel and Sunny with Destiny. And she's doing it for her own entertainment purposes. Tisha is a nasty, low-down, dirty bitch. She can dish it all day, but she can't take it. And Destiny is slow. Hell, she doesn't even know when people are playing in her face and setting her up for the okie doke. Tisha and Kimmy have gaslit Destiny into believing that she's a coward for not wanting to be in the faces and spaces of the people that she feels, has wronged her. And Destiny is not wrong for that. Now, Destiny doesn't accept the invitation right away, and she tells them she needs to pray on it. But Kimmy tells her she better pack her bags, so they pressured her into going. On the flip side, Mel meets up with Sunny at a boutique to shop for the trip, and while they're there, she lets Sunny know that the ladies are not really feeling her. And there's a lot of chatter, so she wants to give Sunny a heads up and a chance to back out of the trip, if she chose to do so. Basically, she just didn't want her to be ambushed. She let her know that all of them were talking shit, including Kimmy. Sunny is actually shocked to hear that Kimmy had so much to say because the last time they were together, they had a good time. It was all smiles, laughs, giggles, kikis, shit. They had a great time. And Sunny said that Kimmy was very supportive of her marriage. Sunny thought they had a good time at the meeting. She doesn't understand, where this is coming from. Now, Mel is now confused because Kimmy did a 180 at that brunch and is nothing like what Sunny is explaining or describing. She was nothing like that. She wasn't feeling Sunny at this brunch. That's that fence riding shit. That's what Kimmy's going to do. She's going to ride that fucking fence. Now, Mel tells Sunny that Kimmy started out singing her praises, but as others chimed in and said they felt some kind of way, she did an about face and started agreeing with them. So Sunny was like, well, hell, what else did she say? Mel goes on to tell her that the topic of them moving to Huntsville came up, and people weren't feeling that either. And people felt like, Sunny was trying to throw this in Destiny's face. So Sunny says, well, I guess these people have a friendship with Destiny, so they are just, Team Destiny. And Mel says, well, I don't. And basically, fuck their girl code, because they don't have one. Destiny didn't have a decade-plus long marriage that was being destroyed. I did. And none of these bitches could care less. Even took sides with the side hoe. So yeah, I'm with Mel on that shit. Fuck them. These chicks are hypocrites. Sunny tells Mel that, she's worried about being attacked on the trip. And Mel just lets her know, look, nobody in this friend circle will be able to convince her to attack because nobody could see the wrongs being done to her. And in fact, they have still remained friends with both Destiny and Martell in spite of it all. So shit, they can basically kick rocks. And that's pretty much how the episode ends. Kimmy and Tisha are two low down and diabolical ass bitches. Tisha swears that she is innocent while she throws rocks and hides her hand. But let something like that happen to her and now it's time to cry. And Kimmy thinks that she is slick by fence riding and skipping back and forth. But nah, we see you too. And nope, you are not to be trusted. You guys hop in the comments and let me know what you guys think. Again, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, bet you know now.